Okay, so we got the plow painted. Got all that all set, and this is the lower A-frame. We got that painted, and this is the cut edge that goes on the bottom front. So that's all painted, and there's the springs. So that's all painted. Now all we have to do is wait for everything to cure, and we can put her together. And got to get 4 new bolts, grade 8 bolts, and we'll get them, and we'll get this together. Alright, we're putting this all back together. This is the cut edge. We've put all new bolts, of course, and painted it, and so we got that bolted on. We got the A-frame piece put back onto it. New grade 8 bolt with a locking nut on the bottom of it. Here's our springs, they're back on. So our next step now would be to put the cylinders on, but what we're going to do before we put the cylinders on, we're going to pull the fittings out and drain the cylinders, and so that we can put new fresh fluid into it. And now's a good time to go ahead and drain these, and then we'll put them on and get ready to refill them. We'll drain the pump on the plow pump, and so we can put all new fluid into it. Alright, we'll pull these fittings out. They are almost always a little bit of pressure on them, so just make sure that you don't have them aimed towards you. Wear safety glasses of some sort. Yeah, as I say, there's always just a little bit of pressure, or could be a little bit of pressure on it. A little bit left in that line probably is not going to matter a whole lot. But we'll,
I'm going to kill my freaking mother.
Alright, we're reinstalling these fittings. Now that we've drained the fluid out of them, always put some Teflon tape on, and some sealant tape. Make sure that we don't have any leaks. What we do every year, we don't go to this extent obviously, but what we do every year is drain the fluid, and what we normally would do is just raise the plow up just a little bit off the floor and disconnect the lines and cycle it back and forth, make sure all the fluid, or as much fluid out as we can get out of it, and then we you know, add fresh fluid. I might actually do that sometimes even in the middle of the winter. You know, after using it for a while, it gets condensation, hot, cold, and if it gets condensation in it, the next time you want to use it when it's a really cold day, it's frozen. So a lot of times, you know, for a couple quarts of fluid, it's cheap insurance. What we're going to do now is we're going to drain the pump. The first thing I usually do is just remove the fill. Onto it. They don't give you a whole lot of room here. And then you take out the drain plug and drain this. This particular one actually says drain right on the casting. And make sure you hit the bucket would be the next thing. And we'll let that drain for just a second or two. The drain plug has an O-ring onto it. Make sure that's still in good shape. Let me say this is just a drain and refill. Get out any condensation. Take this off, and these have been sitting here over the summer. So I'll take them. We can shine that up. Put a couple new washers on it. And then this here is a battery terminal protector. That'll just save that from getting crap in it. Alright, so we've got that cleaned out. We've emptied out the old fluid, put in new. So what we'll do now is we'll hook up to the plow, start cycling it through and top it off, and it'll be all set. Much nicer to do this now than it is when it's 10 below zero and the snow is blowing. The week before Thanksgiving here in upstate New York, and the temperature is 60 degrees. So this is a good time to do this. Always have that in a fully down position. One more quick top off. Let the air get out of it, I guess. There we go. A little bit of air in there. We'll cycle it. We'll use it a little bit, or we'll run it a little bit. Get the air all out of it. Then we'll check it for the fluid. Make sure we don't have any leak. We're ready for the first snow.